Titanium, the crazy metal behind your iPhone airplanes and SpaceX rockets. Ever wonder about this? That iPhone or Apple Watch you're holding has a bit of titanium in it, the same stuff SpaceX uses to build rockets. Just 1 gram of titanium can support the weight of an entire car pressing down on it. Even wilder, the human body basically can't tell titanium apart from real bone. That's why it's used for artificial joints, dental implants, and has saved millions of lives. But here's the really mind-blowing part. Titanium is the 9th most abundant element in Earth's crust, more than copper, lead, and zinc combined. Every time you walk on a beach, there are tons of titanium hiding in the sand right under your feet. So why does a tiny titanium screw cost 20 times more than a steel one? Why does the aerospace industry pour tens of billions of dollars a year into this metal? The answer lies in one of the most complicated and expensive manufacturing processes out there, turning worthless rock into the metal of the future. Titanium is mostly locked up in 2 stubborn minerals, black ilmenite and reddish-brown rutile. The biggest mines are in Australia, about 20% of global supply, followed by South Africa and Canada. But only about 5% of the mined ore actually becomes pure titanium metal. The other 95% gets turned into titanium dioxide, the bright white pigment in house paint, sunscreen, and paper. From 1 ton of ore, you end up with just around 35 kilograms of pure titanium. That's the main reason it's so expensive. And here's the truly insane part: titanium is obsessed with oxygen. Heated up to nearly 1000 degrees C, about 1800 degrees Fahrenheit, and it still grabs onto every oxygen or nitrogen molecule in the air like crazy. Even a tiny bit of contamination makes the metal brittle and useless. That's why for over 80 years, the only real way to produce it at scale has been the Kroll process. Invented in 1940, and nothing has fully replaced it yet. The process starts with a dangerous step using toxic chlorine gas. Crushed ore is mixed with coke, the coal kind, not the drink, heated to 901,000 degrees C. And chlorine is pumped in. The chlorine rips the titanium away from oxygen, creating titanium tetrachloride TiCl4, a clear liquid that's extremely hazardous. If it touches water, boom, acid splashes and thick white smoke everywhere. Next comes the explosive money shot with magnesium. In a giant vacuum-sealed reactor, TiCl4 is dripped onto molten magnesium at around 900 degrees Celsius, 471,650 degrees Fahrenheit. The reaction is intense. Magnesium yanks the chlorine off, leaving behind titanium sponge, a porous gray spongy metal that looks like a shark took a bite out of it. Super light and full of holes. One batch produces 6 to 9 tons of sponge, but it's still contaminated with leftovers. Then, the sponge gets acid-washed, vacuum distilled to remove magnesium and chlorine, which get recycled 100%, resulting in 99.5% pure titanium sponge that's astonishingly light. From there, the sponge is melted using vacuum arc remelting VAR. Huge sponge electrodes are stacked and melted in a perfect vacuum with a massive electric arc. Molten titanium drips down like metallic rain and solidifies into a 1-ton ingot. It's usually remelted 2 or 3 more times to remove every last impurity and make the structure perfectly uniform. This is where titanium becomes a superhero. Add aluminum and vanadium for Ti6Al4 VIVE aerospace alloy. It handles 600 degrees Celsius, 100 degrees Fahrenheit, and 130,000 psi strength. Or add niobium for medical grade Ti6Al7 and be 100% biocompatible. Your body treats it like real bone. A single Boeing 787 uses about 15% of its weight in titanium, roughly 23 tons of the stuff. The ingot then gets forged, rolled, and drawn at high heat into sheets, tubes, and wires. Cutting tools have to be insanely tough because titanium fights back hard. Compared to steel, titanium is 43% lighter, twice as strong as aluminum at the same weight, and incredibly corrosion resistant. It can survive in seawater for hundreds of years. You'll find it in SpaceX Falcon 9 grid fins, nuclear submarine hulls, artificial joints, Rolex watches, F-35 fighter jets, and satellites that orbit Earth for over 50 years without degrading. The future looks promising, with 2 big breakthroughs. First, Cambridge University's direct electrolysis from ore. It cuts energy use by 30% and CO2 emissions by 40%, but it's still lab scale in probably 15 years from commercial production. Second, 3D printing with titanium powder using selective laser melting. A 400-watt laser melts layer after ultra-thin layer, creating complex shapes like honeycomb-structured bone implants and wasting almost no material, up to 70% savings. NASA and GE Aviation already use it for rocket engine chambers and turbine blades. Titanium powder prices have dropped big time too, from $500 per pound in 2015 down to about $150 per pound in 2024. Still producing titanium is energy intensive and has a heavy environmental footprint. 1 ton releases nearly 12 tons of CO2 and consumes massive electricity. The good news, 85% of titanium gets fully recycled with zero loss in quality, saving up to 95% of the energy compared to making it from scratch. Bottom line, from beach sand to that tiny screw in your iPhone, the journey involves huge waste, toxic chlorine, explosive reactions, 1,000-degree heat, and 80 years of stubborn science. That's why titanium costs a fortune. But it's also why nothing else can replace it. Lightweight, super strong, rust-proof, heat-resistant, launching rockets to the stars and saving human lives. Next time you hold your Apple Watch or watch a plane streak across the sky, remember, behind that sleek, cold metal is an epic story of human ingenuity and sheer persistence. Pretty damn cool, right?